Hi and welcome back. So as you can see, for today's lesson, we will still be using wholes as an example or as a primary source for us to learn a lesson today. Now, before we get started, I would appreciate it if you can go ahead and grab a sheet of paper and something to write with, as this is something that you will need to turn into me tomorrow during class time. And as on the sheet of paper, you can go ahead and write anything you want to say from the PowerPoint. Also, if you have any questions, you can go ahead and write those on your sheet of paper as well. So you can ask them to me tomorrow morning, or, as you're writing, you might find an answer for yourself. But as of right now, if you can just go ahead, pause the video while you get your sheet of paper and something to write with. If you already have it, there's no need to pause. And so without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get into the lesson for today. So for today, what we will be going over, as mentioned before, is we will be going over writing. Now for writing, we're just going to have examples on what and how to respond to question words or question sentences. So some question words you might come across are who, what, when, and where. And so here on the chart, I have a little kind of like a cheat sheet to help you remember what to write when a question is asking for something specific. So if a question is asking for a who, you will know you need to provide information about a person or a group. If the question is involving a what, then you will need to name an action or a name of a thing. Now, if it's asking when, then you will need to provide a specific time, date, or event. And if it's asking where, then you will need to provide a general location. Now, if you want to go ahead and pause the video now, just so you can write down this chart on your sheet of paper, you can go ahead and do that. If you do not, that is also fine. We are going to move on to the next part of the video, but if you need this as a reference point, just remember you can always come back to around the 2-minute and 20-second marker, and that'll help you relook at the chart. Okay, now for the questions I'm going to ask you that you will need to respond to are: 1. Who is the juvenile camp resident? 2. What is Camp Green Lake Juvenile Correctional Facility? 3. Where is Camp Green Lake? And 4. When does Stanley get to leave Camp Green Lake premises? Now, as a reminder, you will need to use complete sentences. And if you need help in answering what the question is talking about, or a specific answer, you can go ahead and refer to the chart before, or if you wrote it down, you can go ahead and look at that chart. Again, the questions are: 1. Who is the juvenile camp resident? This question can pretty much be any character. You don't have to necessarily write about all of them. Just go ahead and pick one. Question 2, what is Camp Green Lake Juvenile Facility? Go ahead and answer that question for me. 3, where is Camp Green Lake? And 4, when does Stanley get to leave Camp Green Lake premises? Premises, again, is just the location. So when does Stanley get to leave Camp Green Lake? Again, you're going to need to respond to these questions, turn them into me tomorrow.